What up, YouTube world? It's your boy Jerome. I'm here today with the review for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, Season 5, Episode 8. No. Yeah, it is Episode 8. It's titled Sex, Lies, and Videotapes. So, without further ado, let's get the video started. Alright, so this episode, it basically kind of opened up where it ended last week. And that was with the Dinner from Hell with, Clutch and Pearls, Little Lyrica, Brooke, Marcus, Ray J, and Princess and Safari. So you remember Little Lyrica? She was screaming at the top of her lungs like, "What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on?" And all that kind of stuff. And she's still screaming at Safari. And she's asking Safari, what he said and all that kind of stuff. And he ain't answering all that kind of stuff. So then she goes over and asks Ray J what the Safari says. And, Ray J tells her that, he said he sent her a dick pic. And, that they, messed around when, Ray J was talking to Safari. And when he was bluffing with him, talking about how Lyra copped him fucking. And he said, it was, did he say it was only one time or it wasn't like that or something like that? I forgot what the fuck he says. And, Safari's over there, he's backpedaling and he pussy popping out of the whole scene, and I'm still, when it comes down to this whole thing between Little Lyrica and Safari, at this point, I do not believe that they ever fucked. I don't believe it at all. I think this was a storyline that they made up for the show's purposes, to be honest with you. And, Ray J, when he sat there and said, that Safari's talking about he slept with Little Lyrica, and that that they pregnant, her and Clutch and Pearls are pregnant, but they could be her baby, and she looked at Ray like, "Ray, nigga, I know you not serious," and I'm just like, "Nigga, y'all is full of shit." So Safari basically he want to tell Little Lyrica and Clutch and Pearls to keep him out of their business. When he says this, Clutch and Pearls is like he wants to hop around across that table like fucking Spider-Man. And Clutch and Pearls at this point, he's mad at both Ray J and Safari. And I'm like, I don't get why you mad at Ray J. I mean, I get what Ray J did was wrong bringing him there, but I think Ray J had pure intentions with what he did. So I don't really understand why he was upset with him. So then you got Little Lyrica, she's outside, and Brooke goes up to Little Lyrica. And, Brooke is asking Little Lyrica, did you fuck him? And she's like, "Girl, I can't believe you sitting here asking me that question." And she's like, and then Brooke asks her once again, "Did you have sex with him?" "Girl, let's go find your husband." And then Little Lyrica talking about, "Girl, I could smack the shit out of you right now. If I was Brooke, I'd be like, bitch, do it. Slap me, hoe. Slap me. If you that bold, slap me, bitch." Although she is pregnant, so she couldn't hit her back. But I'd be like, "Slap me, bitch, if you that bold." Alright, so now we are on to the biggest thing of this episode, which was Tiara's sex tape that was leaked earlier this summer by who she thinks is Akbar. With her sucking Akbar's dick and her with all that nut all over her face. But if Tiara likes that, I love it. And whatever. And you got like I said, the whole cast is basically talking about it. Moniece and Jay Will are talking about it. Nikki and Paris are talking about it. Ray and Rockstar are talking about it. And you got Brooke, Marcus, and Solo Lucci. They all talking about it. So then we go to Paris and Nikki, who are talking about it. And Paris basically at this point, she feels bad about the whole situation because she feels like with her and Nikki, when they were found out all this information about Akbar, and then Tiara and Paris going over there to his house and confronting, the dried up prune Alejandra and the dumbass broad, the dumbass wife Sade. She feels like this is just revenge porn, which it is revenge porn. And now after all the stuff that came out last week on social media between Tiara, dumbass Sade and Alejandra the prune, when they were talking about showing those text messages and all that kind of stuff. Now it's making me sit here and think to myself, maybe one of those two broads put that shit out there. Like, it wouldn't make sense. They had that big ass blow up. And it would make a lot of sense if the dumbass broad Sade did it. Like I can actually see that. So like I said, Paris just basically feels bad because it was her and Nikki who, you know, mainly it was Paris who went out and found out all the information about dumbass Sade and Alejandro the Prune. And, you know, Nikki says, you know, this whole sex tape thing is just too much. You know, I have my own sex tape that I had to deal with, and I don't want to get caught up in that. You know, the whole thing with Akbar and Tiara, you know, I have a lot to lose. My family has a lot to lose. I just don't want to be a part of it, which I could see that if you had not inserted yourself. I get it. You want to be a good friend to Tiara, but you and Paris are, I'm not going to say you guys are the sole reason that this happened, but you guys play a part in this. And I don't get why Nikki wants to like throw a rock, but then hide her hand, you know, when somebody sees her do it. So I'm really not feeling Nikki at this point when it comes to this whole Tiara situation. And then you got Akbar with Alejandro the Prune. You know, he's downstairs. He's looking at his car that Tiara and, what's that nigga name? Milan Christopher fucked up. It's so funny how they shade the shit out of Milan Christopher, because we all know that Milan was there with Tiara when she fucked up that car, but Mona them is like, fuck you, we're not gonna show you on TV. So, you know, Tiara, you know, Akbar's telling him how her, I think he said his neighbors were the one. I think he was saying that his neighbors are the ones that were telling him that Tiara was downstairs beating up his car. And then when he got downstairs, she took off. So Tiara comes up and, you know, she admits fully that she's the one that, you know, tore up the car, which she can't deny that because we all saw that her and Milan was actually recording that shit. And I'm like, why the fuck are y'all recording yourselves destroying this man's car? Like, that's stupid. Like, that is against the law. Like, so he put out a he put out a porno tape on you, and you gonna retaliate by recording yourself destroying his car? Like, how stupid can you be? So, you know, Tiara is talking to Akbar. She's telling Akbar that he's the one that released the sex tape. And, you know, Akbar's trying to put it off on Tiara. And she's like, why would I leak my own sex tape? Like, you're the one that had it in your phone and all that kind of stuff. And then he's like, well, how do I have access to your Instagram and all that kind of stuff? She says, because you have my password. That's how. And then she tells us that Akbar sent her a text message basically saying that someone had stole his phone that had their sex tapes in it. So, going back to what I said a little earlier, it would make a lot of sense now if one of those dumbass chicks took Akbar's phone after all this shit happened and said, you know, ooh, look at here. They're going to picture Tiara with nut on her face. Ooh, they're going to picture Tiara sucking Akbar's dick. How about we put this shit on the internet and get back at that bitch? Makes sense? And then with Tiara, since this sex tape came out, she's basically been hiding out from the world. You know, her friends have been texting her, trying to give her support and all that kind of stuff, but it's just not enough for Tiara at this point. And then she says she wakes up to find out that Akbar is now trying to place blame on her and say that she was the one who released the sex tape, which even when that sex tape came out, I didn't believe that Tiara did it, but, you know, I had a little bit of a side eye for it because I knew that at that time that they were still filming Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. So I'm like, this is about to be a storyline for Tiara. But like I said, I never felt like she 100% put it out, but I felt like she knew more than what she was saying. Now looking at everything play out on TV, I take that back. I don't believe that she knew anything about it. I believe that this was Akbar and those miserable bitches that the one he calls a wife, the dumbass Sade, and that prune Alejandro. And going back to when Akbar and Tiara were arguing outside, this nigga is smug as fuck. Like, he telling Tiara that she gonna get over it and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, nigga, somebody that you know put out this tape of her and this picture of her with your nut all over her face. Like, how's she gonna come back from that? So, you know, Tiara goes, she meets with Lisa Bloom, who is just the spitting image of her fucking mother, Gloria Allred. Like, you are the spitting image of your mom. Y'all do the same exact shit. Y'all always want to sue niggas for shit that these hoes, and I'm not calling Tiara a hoe, but certain hoes do. And then when, you know, it gets put out, oh, it's revenge porn and all that kind of stuff. Like, that girl that slept with Tiger Woods. Like, y'all want to defend these bitches, but they knew what they were doing when they got themselves into it. So, miss me with that bullshit. And, Lisa Bloom was telling Tierra about the revenge porn laws in California and how she wants her to hold a press conference on and all that kind of stuff. Which I actually remember that press conference because I sat there and watched that shit for a few minutes and I turned that bullshit off. And then Tierra, she is finally getting herself out and she's meeting up with Paris, and Paris is basically upset and, confused about everything because in that interview that she did, Tierra said how she's still in love with Akbar. And, Tierra's asking Paris, does she believe that she released a sex tape? And Paris is like, no, I don't believe you released a sex tape, but I do believe that you are still in love with him and all that kind of stuff. And, Tierra's telling Paris how, she's going to sue him. And Paris like, yeah, you're really suing him? She said, yeah, he fucked with the wrong bitch and all that kind of stuff. And then, she's telling her how she's doing a press conference. And, she wants to know if Paris is going to be there. And Paris is like, no, I'm not going to be there because I don't really, fool with the law like that. And then, Tierra asked about Nikki, where Nikki is. And, she's talking about how, Nikki had no problem putting her nose in her business. But now that she needs her the most, Nikki is MIA, which is true. I get that. Like, why would you go so hard to find this information on Akbar and these women, but then once, the shit hits the fan with Tierra, you ghost. So I definitely get where Tierra's coming from with that whole situation. All right, then you got this thing where Jay Will, he is performing. He's doing a performance as Candy. I don't know if he was rehearsing for something that he had coming up or not, but Moniece is there. And, once he finishes performing, he goes and talks to Moniece. And the first thing that they talk about is the Tierra situation, with his sex tape and all that kind of stuff. And they both feel like it's fucked up, what allegedly Akbar has done to Tierra. And, Moniece is talking about how she had her sex tape and all that kind of stuff. And, she's telling Jay Will that she hasn't really talked to Tierra in a while. That was her best friend and she still loves her and all that kind of stuff. And Jay Will basically just tells her, you be the bigger person and you go talk to Tierra, which I like the fact that he told her that. But then he changes the subject and he tells Moniece that, Mr. Ray has invited him down to audition for a spot at Gay Pride. Now you can look at his face and tell that he's not that excited about it. And the reason why he's not excited about it is because he would rather perform as Jay Will and not Candy, which I get that. How long can you go around performing as I don't know what Candy is, to be honest with you. I know she's a drag or whatever, but I get it. He wants to be himself. He wants to be Jay Will and promote himself and not be that persona Candy, which, like I said, I definitely get it. And Moniece is there actually giving him some sound, advice and all that kind of stuff. And basically she tells him when he goes to this audition, go to get the audition as Jay Will and leave Candy at home, which I like the fact that she told him that. Like, I think that was pretty cool. All right, so now you got Jay Will, he and LaBrittany are at this audition for the Pride event and all that kind of stuff. And he looked like he just got off of work, looked like he might be a server or a waiter or something like that, not shading him at all. So, him and LaBrittany are talking. First of all, LaBrittany needed to burn that wig that she had on. That shit was ugly as fuck. Looked like it was just sitting right here on her forehead. Looked like a big blob of black glue. So, she's asking Jay Will where's Candy at. And, he said that he wants to try something different this time. That basically he wants to get back to what he started out doing and, get back to being him and, telling his story and all that kind of stuff. Which I'm like, okay, I feel that and I hope it works out for him. So then LaBrittany goes out there to perform and I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is this that she doing? And then when she's performing, I'm looking at her. And then when she was, backing up and clapping her ass and all that kind of stuff, I had to look and I'm like, what the fuck does she have on? I'm like, do I see her pussy lips in this outfit? And then even rate them all as to, what do you have on up under there? And she said, ass and pussy. I'm like, really, girl? I'm like, what's next? Like, the next thing you're going to see is women going to come out on the stage with absolutely nothing on. You're just going to have a pasty on their titties titties just flopping, and nothing covering up their pussy and all that kind of stuff. And it's gonna be, oh, I'm performing. Like y'all are teaching young girls not to have respect for themselves. I feel like, what the hell? So once LaBrittany finished performing, Jay Will comes out. He does his performance, which I actually thought his performance was pretty good. But Mr. Ray, Blowfish Mr. Ray is over there, and he's like, I invited Candy here to perform, and I'm like, Candy and Jay Will are the same person. Like, I get it, y'all want him because he would be a big draw for the crowd, but let this man be himself. If give him a shot. Which that whole scene kind of pissed me off, because once he finished performing, they want to compare him to LaBrittany. Like, LaBrittany is a female and he is a male. Like, how y'all can compare apples and oranges and all that kind of stuff? And Jay Will was rightfully so in his feelings about that. When that one judge was talking to him, I felt like Jay Will came off just a little bit rude. But like I said, I get where he was coming from. He basically just wants to separate himself. He wants to be Jay Will and separate himself from Candy, which I get that. So, like I said, I get it. But he did come off just a tad bit rude to me. Okay, then you got Little Lyrica and Clutch and Pearls. They are at home, and they are talking about how Ray and the rest of them, everybody else, are making fools of themselves. And I'm like, really? Okay. I would say y'all are making fools of yourselves, but maybe they don't see it. But y'all have made a complete fool of yourself in the past. It was 6 episodes before y'all actually got back together. So y'all were the ones that was making a complete fucking fool of yourselves. But whatever. If y'all like it, I love it. And then Clutch and Pearls, he's talking about how he believes that people are hating on them, and I'm like, nigga, what are they hating on y'all for? Like, niggas are saying that they fucked your wife. Your wife, of all people. Not your girlfriend, not your bitch, not your hoe, but your wife. Niggas are out here claiming that they fucked your wife. What the fuck is there to be jealous of? Explain it to me, because I'm not seeing it. So, basically what they want to do is they want to shut everybody out right now and just focus on them. But Clutch and Pearls also said that he got to, sit down and have a talk with Ray. And I'm like, Ray, Ray J, he's full of shit. He's childish as fuck. But what Ray J did, I don't necessarily think was 100% wrong. I don't think it was. I'm not even gonna say it was the right or wrong place. He just had horrible delivery. Basically, is what I feel when it comes down to Ray J. All right, and then you got Brooke, Solo Lucci, and Marcus. They are all meeting at a day party. They haven't saw each other in a while. And Brooke, she shows Solo Lucci her engagement ring. And, she, on her big ass mouth, she got to tell Solo Lucci about what happened at the dinner from hell with Ray and all of them. So she's basically saying, how Little Lyrica is pregnant. And, she's telling how Ray said that Safari said he fucked Little Lyrica. And, how that may or may not be, Clutch and Pearls' baby. It could be Safari's baby. And Marcus is over trying to get Brooke to shut the fuck up at this point, because she's just running her fucking mouth. And, Marcus is telling how Clutch and Pearls is upset with Ray at this point. And, basically what Solo Lucci wants to do is just get the guys together so that they can all just get together, hash things out, and move forward. And then, they move over to Tierra. Like everybody this whole episode has talked about Tierra Marie and this sex tape. And, Solo Lucci is talking about this interview that she did where she said, and I don't even know if I ever saw this interview, where she said that, Akbar is the one that put the sex tape out, but how she loves him. And I'm like, girl, how the fuck can you love somebody who willingly embarrassed you and humiliated you to the world? But whatever. And, Brooke is basically saying that she needs to sit down and have a talk with Tierra. And Mark is just trying to tell Brooke that, that it's none of our business and she needs to stay out of it. And then you got Ray. He's meeting up with Rockstar. And the first thing that Rockstar is talking about is Tierra Marie with the nut on her face. And then, he's talking about how he always want to make stuff sexual about himself. I'm like, nigga, nobody really 100% believes that you are straight. Sorry to say it, but nobody believes that that nigga is straight. And then, he asking Ray what's going on with him. Ray talking about, about the baby. He asked a boy or girl. He says girl. And I'm sorry, did I hear Rockstar say that he has a 2-year-old? I'm like, with what and with who? Why would somebody want to have a baby with your ass? But, that's neither here nor there. So, basically Ray is sitting there telling him about the whole situation that happened with Clutch and Pearls, Little Lyrica, and Safari. And, Rockstar takes upon himself to tell Ray J that, about, when Little Lyrica came to the studio talking about her titties were all up to her forehead and all that kind of shit. And then he's saying how she was talking bad about Clutch and Pearls, which she was. And when she did that, I didn't understand why she did that, why she was talking bad about her husband in front of Rockstar of all people. And then, he's telling her how she's called him and she's texted him. And then he shows Ray the text messages. And Ray is like, the text messages say, don't tell, she was talking about not wearing her wedding ring and not to tell Clutch and Pearls and all that kind of stuff. And then, Ray is telling him about the baby and all that kind of stuff, how they don't know who, I'm not going to say they don't know who, like Little Lyric and Clutch and Pearls, but in the group, not sure if that's her, her baby with Clutch and Pearls or her baby with Safari, which I'm pretty sure it is her baby with Clutch and Pearls. I do not believe that she fucked Safari. I don't believe it. And then lastly, the guys' night, where they're having the card night. So, Ray basically feels bad about the dinner and, how he was only basically looking out for Clutch and Pearls, which I definitely saw that. So, Clutch and Pearls, he comes in, he speaks to Marcus and Solo Lucci, but he completely ignores Ray J. And, basically Ray J want to know, like, what the fuck is up with that? Like, you come here and speak to them, but you don't speak to me. And, Clutch and Pearls says he know why Ray J did what he did, but he feels like that was the wrong place. And Ray J's like, well, where else was I going to do it at? When was I going to have another time to do that? And, Clutch and Pearls ask him, Clutch and Pearls was talking about Safari, how, actually Ray J said that Clutch and Pearls, not Clutch and Pearls, but Safari said that, he fucked Little Lyrica, and then Clutch and Pearls like, well, he said he didn't fuck him. And Marcus is like, nah, he didn't say he did not fuck her. What it was Safari was playing semantics with you, which he was. Safari was completely 100% playing semantics. So, Solo Lucci basically says he fucked her. And I'm like, damn, nigga, shut up. And, Ray want to know, again, what's going on. And, why is Clutch and Pearls directing his anger solely at Ray? Which I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, Ray J, like I said, he's childish as hell. That wasn't the right, I don't know if that was the right setting, but I know what he was doing, and I definitely got what he was doing. And, Ray J basically tells Clutch and Pearls that, he can catch a brotherly fade. And then Clutch and Pearls, he want to get all buck in his titties again. And I'm like, nigga, sit your ass down. And, he tell Ray it ain't shit that he can say to him. And Ray like, oh, it ain't shit that I can say to you. And then, Ray says, but everybody's saying it. They just not saying it to you. And, then he mentions Rockstar and all that kind of stuff. And how, everybody's saying that they fucked his wife. And, Marcus is like, I heard that shit too. He's saying Brooke is not a liar and all that kind of stuff. And, when it comes down to this shit, I don't know what to believe. Like, I don't believe that Little Lyrica fucked Safari. But these text messages, and we didn't see the text messages. Excuse me. We didn't see the text messages from Rockstar, so I don't know what to believe. But that was Love and Hip Hop. Like the video, leave your comments, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you later.